Hello, hello. Hey everybody. Hey. Let's see who's here today already. Hi Lanka. Hi Ice. Hi John Van Winkle. Hi Quaffles. Hello, hello. I'm really excited. We're gonna finish this. I remember when I first wanted to do a reading stream, I was like, nobody's gonna show up. I genuinely thought nobody would show up because it wasn't a game. But I'm wiser now. It's the journey. Doesn't have to be a game. But yeah, these last two chapters are really short. Actually. Half the length of the other two sections I did. Maybe the reading stream was the friends we made along the way. So true. Yeah, this is my, what would I call it? My read in bed. I wanted to draw my whole bedroom, but, I haven't decided what I want it to look like yet, so I just did this. But yeah, it's comfy. It's a little bit like the bed that I have in real life, but there's slight difference. Well, mostly the sheets are different. I don't have a cat and a bunny on my blanket. I have Hello Kitty on my blanket. And on my pillows. But my blanket underneath is yellow with white polka dots, so it's kind of the same. I have a reading bed, a feeding bed, a pondering bed, a casting couch bed. I left out all my Shoda Dakimakura. I don't have any. I don't have room for that. I have room for that. I have art books though in my drawer that other people aren't allowed to go in. Secret drawer. But yeah, let me find the page. A page. Oh, let me turn the music off. Off. Okay. Let's go to the page. And I checked ahead, and I don't have to censor any of the pictures that are left. There's 2 pictures left. Let me check one more time. The series is dangerous. Pretty sure there's just 2 pictures left. They're fine. Yeah. And there's a little manga drawing, which I don't know if it's in this PDF, but we'll see. Panty shot in the last page. I think Panty should be fine. I think. But I don't know. I don't know Twitch's limit when it comes to. We've learned a lot recently considering their limits, but I think we should still play it safe. Okay. Here we go. Chapter 4. Grandmaster. Blue. Yeah, okay. So where we were at last time, the twins were playing a game of chess with Chalami to see who would be the ruler of the humans. I forgot what they call the humans here. But it was a chess where they could tell the pieces what to do, but they have their own will. So depending on your charisma, it might do more or less. And it just got really crazy. But in the end, they won. So now we're at that part. So let's go. If it was a hot tub stream, it would be fun. I'm gonna do a hot tub stream. Or pools. Pools and hot tubs. Just wait. Wait, we got the whole summer. But okay, let's start. Shalami wailed. Stupid jerk, I hate you. I'll never give in. I'll show everyone about you, etc. to the end. And finally left as if running away. Good grief. What's the point if even humans themselves start underestimating humans? At Sora's words of vexation, the castle once again was enveloped in acclamation. A victory too complete to question. A victory that showed everyone that unmistakably the promise of the human's new monarch. Cheers thundered throughout the great hall and carried forward the steps of the elderly official with crown in hand. Well then, your name is Sora, correct? Yeah. Will you accept the crown of the kingdom of Elkia? The Sora announced back decisively, no. And bringing his sister close, he said with a smile, together we are blank. We too are the monarch. This had been mentioned during the This had been mentioned during the chess match as well. The crowd raised their voices higher, celebrating the birth of a new king and a little queen. But, unfortunately, that is not possible. Huh? The cheers halted at the official's words. What? Why not? The 10 Covenants stipulate that an agent plenipotentiary be established. There cannot be two. The buzzing hall. The siblings looked at each other. Sora pondered fretfully, scratched his head, furrowed his brow, and spoke. I see, so we'll split roles and have me take this on, yeah? Setting down his sister, who groaned minutely, Sora turned back to face the official. Then we'll resume. I hereby crown Sora the 205th monarch of the kingdom of Elkia. If any among you object, speak now. If not, your silence shall. But someone who could not hold her peace interrupted, raising her hand. Long white hair, a girl whose bangs peeped ruby red eyes, but seriously. Shiro? I have an objection. Pardon, my sister. Whatever do you speak of? If you become king, you can build a harem. What? Though Sora answered as if he didn't believe his ears, still Shiro scrunched her face as if about to cry and spoke. And then you won't need me. Paying no attention to the bewildered audience, flustered to an improbable degree, Sora spoke. Hey, wait, that's ridiculous. You and I, together we're one team, right? It's just for formality's sake. I'll be the king technically, but it's not like... But you'll be the king, and I'll just be there. It can only be one, so... After she smudged off her tears with her arm, there were no more tears. It'll be me. In the sister's unemotional eyes dwelt a clear will to fight, as they pierced her brother with a declaration of war. Huh? Sora on the other end of that stare changed his own expression. I always thought this part was so funny. She's like, no, I'll become the queen. I have to be the one in power here. I can't trust you. She's the best little sister. So true. Hey now, my darling, precious sister. It's rare to hear you tell jokes. How's the weather in hell? Grinning with his usual frivolous attitude, but with a clear hostility in his tone of voice. See what happens if a 1,000 ships level beauty like you becomes queen. You're too innocent. You might get taken in by some sweet-talking bum. Your brother can't let you be queen. They're both jealous. I love that. They're both jealous. Oh. So Sora faced Shiro, spewing the ultimate doting brother lines. Contrary to his words that suggested almost smothering love, there was no hint of a smile in his eyes. No, brother, you can't be king. That's final. Bring it on then, because your brother's not gonna let you be king, and that's final. Two gazes, facing each other, clashing. The gazes of the two who had overcome even elven cheating to attain the human race's most powerful title. They weren't the gazes of intimate siblings, nor those of the 2-in-1 gamer blank. They were the gazes of long rivals, and their wills looked firm enough to draw sparks. I thought that was interesting. Well, in that case, shall I take it that you two wish to settle this with a final match? It must have required considerable courage to come between them. To the official, checking with them apologetically. Sure, I'm ready. That's fine. Without hesitation and without looking away, they laid down the gauntlet. I'm not gonna go easy on you, my sister. Today's the day you're going down. Worry about yourself, brother. Today, I'm serious. And so, 3 days passed. In the center of the hall, among the scattered remains of countless games, played back-to-back without sleep or rest, the siblings laid sprawl on the floor. Hey, why don't you give up already? Why don't you just resign? The countless games that had begun under the condition of 2 consecutive wins for victory totaled 500. 158 wins, 158 losses, and 184 draws. Jesus. They're so annoying. I wonder how long they would go with this. The tragedy was that, never mind in this place, even back in their old world, while Blank had risen to the status of an urban legend, no one knew the match records between the two. Aside from their collective name as Blank, the two game-loving siblings, as a matter of most natural course, played each other, and the records were a lot of numbers. A bunch of games, a bunch of wins, a bunch of losses, and a lot of draws. To this day, neither had ever gotten ahead or behind once. The people in the castle had no way of knowing this tragic fact as they waited for the coronation, but by now they'd long since gone home. Also, I didn't read them because I don't want you to make fun of me. If that isn't obvious. Y'all will make fun of me, so I'm not gonna say anything. By now they had long since gone home, then come back, and then all gone home again. As they tried to predict when would be a good time, gradually, fewer and fewer people came at all. The castle staff laid sprawl across the great hall, even the presiding official with crown in hand, and Steph, who each were just barely holding on to consciousness, were already well into the land of hallucinations. Every now and then the old official would grin creepily and then return to a normal expression. Meanwhile, Steph reached out at air with a blank smile, saying, "Oh, a butterfly." So, what should the next game be? Asura thought about it in his hazy head. A question popped up and stayed his hand. Hey, why does the monarch have to be one person? What? To these words, the official and Steph responded, brought back from La La Land. To articulate his concern, Sora took out his phone and read out his notes on the 10 Covenants once more. The 7th of the 10 Covenants, for conflict between groups, an agent plenipotentiary shall be established. This was a rule that directed groups, i.e. countries and races, each to designate a representative for conflicts between them. But Sora, having pronounced it carefully, meditatively, made sure there was no contradiction between the words he reread and pronounced and the conclusion he reached. Does it actually say anywhere that it has to be an individual? He murmured. La La Land. Yeah, La La Land is like when you're daydreaming, or you're just kind of like in a haze or like daze. Like that. La La Land. Silent. And thus the legendary struggle of which the bards would later sing of as the Nightmare 3 Days came to a close. But it being an inordinately long story, let us pass over it in this account. The movie La La Land? I haven't seen it. Is it an animated movie? Because if not, then I will not be. Hey, is this really okay? Sure it is. Since the time of yore, monarchs who have clad themselves in ostentatious garb have generally done so to hide their baseness with it, to inflate their public image and aggrandize themselves. A monarch should be a model for the people, an ideal to emulate. Reverence should be won by deeds. So full of it. Yeah, okay. To be honest, I just feel more comfortable like this. Fine, as you wish, but at least do something about your hair. The capital city, Elkia, the grand square in front of the castle, coming out onto the castle veranda. The sweeping plaza reminds one of the Piazza San Marco in Venice. Now the square was filled with a throng of countless people. How many thousands? How many tens of thousands of people were there? Yearning to hear the words of their new king, the crowd spilled out of the square into the streets extending from it. It was an expression of their loss of hope in the previous king, scorned as a fool, an expression of their need for a thread of hope for humanity, left standing in a pit of despair, an expression that they sought from the siblings who had taken down an elven spy, taken down magic head on. On the castle veranda were gathered the gazes, pregnant with expectation, of the entire human race. Two figures stepped out, a young man and a girl. A young man with dark circles under his eyes, wearing jeans and a t-shirt that read, "I heart people." A girl with long hair, white enough to make one think of snow and white skin to match, along with eyes red as jewels in a sailor suit. Their crowns told that they were the king and queen. But the young man had contorted the queen's tiara and looped it onto his arm like an armband. Meanwhile, the girl had tied her hair up with the king's crown, lifting her bangs. Seeing them, it was easy to imagine why Seth had cried out during their changing. In this half-assed get-up, standing before his dazed people, the young man Sora spoke up. Good day. Brother, you're nervous, unusual. This is me when I started streaming. For real. Shut up, you know we're both afraid of crowds. Normally I'm just repressing it. Shiro gently took her brother's hand, careful not to let the crowd see her do it. Silently, as if to say, then repress it again now. As if to say, just as you always have, and you always will. My esteemed people, no. Comrades of humanity. As if he had grasped his sister's intent, the brother raised his voice with a face from which the tension had dissolved. A bullhorn was attached to the veranda railing, but he bellowed with a fierce power that suggested he didn't need it. We, humanity, under the 10 Covenants, in this world without war, have lost continually until we have been reduced to our last country, our last city. Why is this? The crowd was taken aback at the sudden question thrown at them. Because of the old king's mistakes, because we can't use magic. Sora waited for each of them to come up with an answer. Continued. Because the old king failed? Because we are the lowest ranking race? Because we can't use magic? Because our race is destined to die helplessly? Nay! The strong denial made the air and the masses alike tremble. If only I could yell. Physically incapable of doing it. Making a fist and no effort to hide his emotions, Sora shouted on. In the past, in the great war of the ancient gods, the devils, the elves, the werebeasts, and so many races struggled against each other, and we fought, and we survived. In the past, the entirety of this continent was the domain of the human countries. Then why is this? On the basis of the history he had read through in the past few days in Steph's library, Sora asked them. Is it because we are a race skilled in violence? Is it because we are a race specializing in combat? Everyone in the audience looked at each other. We have not the diverse magic of the elves, nor the physical prowess of the werebeasts, nor the longevity of the flugel. I want to say that actually. Is it flugel? Flugel? This being so, did our former dominion over this continent result from specialization in combat? By no means. Yes, this was a clear fact that anyone could see. But then came a question. Then why? We survived through combat because we were weak. In all ages and all worlds, the strong hone their fangs and the weak their wisdom. Why have we been backed into a corner? It is only because the 10 Covenants have torn out the fangs of the strong and forced them to hone their wisdom. What we believe to be our exclusive property as the weak, ingenuity, strategy, tactics, and the power to survive, was obtained by the strong as well. Our wisdom was seized by the strong, and we faced the strong with the same weapons, and that is what brought us to these deaths. With the desperate situation laid out, the square fell silent. The gathered audience was enveloped in such emotions as dejection, despair, and discomfort. Sora looked around them with a sigh and went on. Okay, hold on. Y'all are talking about Shiro's hair, saying it would taste good. It would not taste good. Eating her hair would not taste good. What are you talking about? Just because she's cute doesn't make her hair not hair. And no, you can't eat my hair either. It will taste disgusting. I know it's candy color, but you can't. It's nasty. You'll choke. Probably. Probably. Oh, yeah. Let me drink some water first. Okay, where am I at? Sora looked down at them with a sigh and went on. All of you here, answer me. Why do you hang your heads? Sora, once raging and swinging his fist, now spoke softly. Let me repeat. We are the weak. Indeed, still we are, just as we always have been. Someone took in a sudden breath, realizing something. After waiting for it to spread, Sora shouted out once more. Indeed, is the situation not exactly the same? The strong may imitate the wisdom of the weak, but they will never attain true mastery. For the truth underlying our weapon is the cowardice born of abject weakness. The crowd's question was preemptively answered. Who through cowardice has honed their eyes and ears, their wit, to learn to survive? It is we humans. They were shown hope in despair. We cannot use magic. We cannot even perceive it. However, cowardice has given us the wit to escape magic, the wisdom to see through it. We have no supernatural senses. However, cowardice has given us, through learning and experience, wisdom approaching precognition. One who speaks of only hope is an optimist, and one who speaks only of despair is a pessimist. For the third time, we are the weak who, throughout the ages, have torn out the throats of the complacent strong. We are the proud weak. The deeper the despair and darkness, the more it was true. I announce that my sister and I have been crowned here as your king and queen, as the 205th monarch of Elkia. That only one who lights the watchfire of hope can attract the masses. I announce that the two of us shall live as the weak, fight as the weak, and slaughter the strong as the weak do, just as we always have, just as we always will. So people look to their steps as a guide. Accept it. We are the weakest race. We are those who, in the endless cycles of history, devour the fat and strong. Thus, Take pride, for we are the weakest. We are the most empty-handed. We are born with nothing, so we can become anything. And we therefore are the strongest race. A monarch was born. Cheers, no roars, followed. They shook the square, the sky, the shouts that could sound like howls of rage or cries of victory. Out of expectation for the two on the platform, or out of the souls of the cornered bearing their fangs. Looks like my hair would taste like strawberry. Yippee. Are they ears? No, don't nibble my ears. I need them. I need them. If you take a nibble, something terrible will happen. You'll be cursed for 1,000 years. I'm thinking of PMD now. You'll be cursed for 10,000 years. I'm serious. What does the curse do? It gives you bad luck every single day. Like really bad luck. Like you'll get holes in all your underwear. And you'll trip a lot. And your food will always be cold in the middle. Okay? Horrible, horrible curse. Horrible, terrible curse. Serious. Okay, where was I at? It's worth it. Horrible. It's not worth it at all. Not at all. Yeah, for real. Oh. Before this sight, Sora and his sister looked at each other. The sister nodded, slightly with a pleasant smile. With this confirmation, Sora started his final speech, spreading his arms wide, innocent as a giddy child, yet like a strategist who'd seen it all, bold as a warrior. Spreading across his face was a guileless yet brazen smile. Sora, the new king of the human race, spoke. Come, let the games begin! Surely you have had your fill of suffering. Surely you have been humiliated too much. Surely you have tasted life's bitterness to the point of sickness. Surely this is enough. Here I am, my fellow humanities. His palm rose to the horizon, as if he might even clutch the heavens, and then closed. Now, as of this moment, we, Elkia, declare war on all other countries in the world. Jesus. What an ending to the chapter. Do the curses stack? Or can we keep eating you after they stack? Okay. The curses stack, so the longer you do it, the worse they get. Oh wait, that wasn't the end, that was the picture. Here's the picture. His I Heart People shirt. And the crowns. I'm not actually sure what version of people that is on his shirt though. Maybe it just literally is people. People. I'm curious. The guy looks like a toy. He is a dork. He's been a shut-in playing games all day every day. Of course he's a dork. What do you expect? They both are. Okay. Side ponytail with a crown is a cute accessory. I agree. I like the way they use the crowns. I thought it was cute. Instead of just putting it on their heads. Very cute. And I like that he uses the queen's crown and she uses the king's crown. I thought that was a cute little switch too. Hold on, louder. Okay. Oh, hope that didn't make too loud a noise. Light the signal for a counter strike. We will have our borders back. Amidst Ah, geez. Hard for me to say. Mist, tears so great as to split the earth. The two left the stage to be attacked by Steph. Hey, you! What the heck are you talking about? Oh, what are you freaking out about, Steph? You're freaking me out. Steph. So creepy. With Steph honking and bleeding in mad disorder, the siblings sneered at her unjustifiably. But Steph had bigger things on her mind. You think everything's okay now? You just got crowned and haven't even taken care of domestic affairs yet. And you think Elkia's ready to take on other countries? Are you trying to destroy this nation? Steph clutched her head and cursed her own foolishness for believing in this swindler's siblings, though perhaps she was getting used to it. With a gesture that suggested he was already in his element, Sora spoke with a sigh. Look, didn't I tell you to learn to doubt people? Huh? Steph stopped in her tracks and fixated on Sora. After the elves, Elvengard, right? Went went as far as to get Chilami working for them to try and take over this country? You think they're gonna think they were beaten face on by mere humans who can't use magic? What do you mean? Did you forget? They think we're people with the support of another country. At the very least, whoever was supporting Chilami must be reporting it that way. And it's probably what the other countries think too. The sister continued her brother's words as if to supplement them. The world thinks a spy from some other country has taken over Elkia. Her brother nodded and went on. But they don't know which country. They don't know whose spy. Whose puppet is running the country. And then suddenly we declare war on the whole world. And this is what they think. Some country has installed a puppet government in Elkia and is ready to go on the offensive, right? Oh. In this world's contest, the challenge party has the right to determine the game. So it was in spite of the fact that taking the offensive was extremely disadvantageous that they declared war on the whole world. And also considering that they had defeated the spy of the Elvengard, they're going to be worried now that there's some country, some race that's got a trump card that can even beat the elves, right? So, to throw the whole world into paranoia, we're going and declaring war on them. And then not doing anything. See? The siblings' smiling words left Steph speechless. The fifth of the 10 covenants, the party challenge shall have the right to determine the game. When all those countries we declared war against get worried, they'll probably, try to figure out what country is backing us, even though there is none. While the whole world is stretching itself trying to pry into us, let's pry back their armor, find their weak spots, and solidify our base. To the brother who smirked, spoke, and turned his back, Steph asked, So, when you said you were going to take back our land, you were lying? Steph surprised herself with her significant feeling of regret. Perhaps it was due to a momentary aggressiveness stirred up by Sora's speech. Or perhaps... Hey Steph, I talked it over with my sister, whether we want to go back to our old world. There was nothing to talk about. The answer is no. There would be no point whatsoever in abandoning a world as fun as this one to go back to that one. Especially for us. So there you go. Now, clapping his hands together, Sora. We are humans. The last country of humanity is this one, Elkia. To prevent it from disappearing, we have set our objective as taking the throne for now, but... The sister and the brother, exchanging looks, laughing happily. Okay, my sister? The enemy can use magic. They can use superpowers. We can't. We're at an overwhelming disadvantage, playing against an overwhelming handicap. We have only one city left in our territory. The situation is hopeless. However, to protect the name of blank, we can't have a single loss. What do you think? On the face of the sister, typically lacking in expression, a childlike smile emerged, and she answered in one word. Sweet. I know, right? Steph, watching this exchange with eyes as if watching something unknown. Something literally from another world. After lining up each of the conditions of a hopeless situation, the first word that came out was, sweet? To Steph, who had no idea what it was supposed to mean, Sora turned back. So returning to your question, Steph, Yes? Being spoken to when she was out of it, her voice slipped to a falsetto. About taking back the borders. To be honest, that was a lie. Huh? Sora taking out his phone as he talked, opening his task scheduler and putting a check by being king. Input a new task. Namely, final objective, conquer the world. For now. What? The Sora's words had gone past taking back the borders, past taking back the continent, taking over the world, and at just how many times she could be surprised in one day. Steph made a sound with a double meaning. Sora twirled his back and walked away, with Shiro following him. Steph, finding herself being left alone, panicked and chased after them, discombobulated. Are you serious? Blank can't be anywhere but first place, whether it's a play for Dominion or whatever. If we're gonna play a game, our goal is to be the only one at the top. That's our rule. Shiro nodded decisively. Now that it had come to this, all the more, Stephanie Dola had to realize that she'd still underestimated these siblings. Could it be that against all odds it was really true? These two could be the saviors of the human race? She watched Sora's back as he departed, and her heartbeat quickened with a thump. Her chest tightened, but there was no more hatred in it. He'd restored her grandfather's honor, saved her beloved country, saved Elkia. Declared he'd even take back its territory, turned to go as if he actually could and would do it. His form seen from behind. Stephanie Dola could no longer find a reason to hate it. Humanity. Yes, humanity. Completely different than humanity, obvious. Oh, the humanity. The humanity of it all. Distracted. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Humanity? So true. So true. And I'm, hip, hip, hip manity. Stupid. That was stupid. Wait, did I finish that? No, I didn't. Okay. Hipidity. It doesn't work really, I don't think. It just doesn't sound right. We are all Michaels now. Stop. Stop. That was fun. Kippity cappity Everybody, you can't just add Kip in front of everything. And I'm saying that to myself too, because I still do it. Can't just put Kip in front of everything. Okay. In the kingdom of Elkia, the capital, Elkia, Block 1, Central District, meaning the Elkia Royal Castle, the Royal Bed Chamber. The king of Elkia sprawled on a bed so huge one couldn't help but wonder just how many people were supposed to sleep there. A man who, days before, had been a mere unemployed video game vegetable. Sora, 18, virgin. We haven't had that in a while. From a cramped gaming room to a dump-in room to Steph's mansion and finally the royal bed chamber. Huh. Chuckling at a rise that would make a spaceman sick, Sora held a book. The title of the book, lit in the darkness by the moon and the dim lighting. The Exceed Ecosystem. Sora paused his eyes on the first page and lost himself in thought. Flugel, eh? These seem like guys I could get on my side. In the book, it was explained. The Flugel, a war race created as the sky-soaring vanguard of gods in the ancient Great War. Since the Ten Covenants, their combat abilities have been effectively sealed off. Still, they possessed enormous lifespans and high magical aptitude. which they had utilized in building a literal city of the heavens on the back of an avant. Okay. A colossal phantasma drifting through the sky, which they preserve as their single territory without participating in the play for dominion. However, perhaps because of their long lifespans, they do have a powerful thirst for knowledge. What does that say? Let me read that. Like, I will get a kip cup of Kipa add Kipugger to enjoy the Kip stream. Okay, some of those work a lot better than others, for sure. Kip Cup is bad, but it's easy to read. Kipafi works, kind of. Kipugger is terrible. Kipafi is also terrible. But, I mean, you can still read it. Oh, wait, let me start over. However, perhaps because of their long lifespans, they do have a powerful thirst for knowledge and engage in games solely to obtain knowledge from the world's other races. That is, to collect books. Sounds like they know a lot about magic, and I could draw them in with my knowledge of another world. If he could just make contact with this race somehow, it seemed it would help in figuring out how to fight against magic. Knock knock. As he thought about such things, there was a reserved knock. Feeling a deja vu-like sense that something like this happened a few days ago, he responded. Uh-huh, who is it? It is Stephanie Dola, your majesty. May I enter, sir? Huh? Sure. The step who opened the heavy door of the royal bedchamber with a deferent demeanor, Sora spoke. Hey, why are you talking and acting like that? Just come in here and act normal. Well, you see, when I thought about it calmly, sir, it is true that you are the king of Elkia, and thus... Ah, that is so embarrassing! Sora interrupted Steph with a shout. That makes me feel all itchy, and it takes too damn long. You can just talk like always. So what? Electricity had not been discovered in Elkia. The royal bedchamber was illuminated only by a dim candle chandelier in the room. In this faint light, Steph stood with her expression unreadable in the center of the room, unmoving. Then, Sora, right? You ordered me fall in love with me so that I would fall at your feet, correct? Yeah. Now that you have become the king of Elkia, now I'm... Through a gap in the clouds for a moment, the moonlight strengthened, and Steph's expression became clear. It was anxious. So you're saying since I don't need you anymore anyway, you want me to release you from your covenant? No, that's not what I meant. There he was. For all his brilliance in games, an 18-year-old virgin. Flustered, Steph hastily corrected Sora's totally off the mark interpretation, and then asked, I want to know, why you asked me, well, not to be your possession, as your sister suggested, but to fall in love with you? It was due to ulterior motives, i.e., due to Sora's base desires, i.e., a mistake. As Sora contemplated whether he ought to admit this or not, a further unexpected question came first. So, did you make me fall in love with you because you had that kind of feeling for me? Huh? If that happens to be the case, all I have left. What are y'all talking about? You cannot eat me. Stop talking about eating me. You think my natural scent is like butter? Butter? Is that a compliment or not? Maybe like cocoa butter. Cocoa butter. I like using oh hi oh hi Julius Caesar. I like that name. Hi Julius Caesar. We're reading. I like Like when I pick soap, I like a vanilla soap and honey and oat and coconut and stuff like that. But you can't eat me still. Okay, you can't. Even though that all is food stuff, you can't. Where was I at? Oh, if that happens to be the case, I all I have left. With that, she walked up to the bed, and with an uncomfortable yet beet red face, she pulled up her skirt and said in a pleading tone, "To give you now is this, you know." Hold on. Hold on. Sora, virgin, 18. You just got hit with an issue you can't overlook. I see. Looking at Steph objectively, she is pretty hot. Thanks, a narrator. It's only natural that a healthy young man would want to be liked by a cutie pie like her. But what did he want to do after making her fall in love with him? Love at first sight? I don't know about that. He searched his heart, asking whether he really had romantic feelings for her. Wait, to begin with? Huh? Romantic feelings? How are those even supposed to feel? Sora ran upon the inherent limitations of a dateless loser. So rough. Well, that's, snap. With a flash and a click, from the other side of the bed had emerged Shiro, phone in hand. Yeah! Seeing Shiro in the same room, Steph hastily lowered her skirt and retweeted. Retreated. I said retweeted. Social media brain rot. Steph hastily lowered her skirt and retreated. But she should have realized it was a matter of course. Thinking back on the incident in the inn, there was no way Sora could be by himself. Kipa isn't edible, she's lickable. Everyone's lickable with enough love. Well, you have to catch me. I don't think you can catch me. I'm pretty fast. You have to catch me. On behalf of brother, anguished by the limits of a virgin, Shiro shall explain. Shiro, if I may be so bold, your brother finds it somewhat scarring to be told this by his 11-year-old sister. However, ignoring her brother's protest, Shiro showed the picture she had just taken, showing Steph with her skirt pulled up, showing her panties completely. I'm surprised they didn't draw this. This would have been a good one to draw, in my opinion. This, is why brother told you to fall in love with him. Both Steph and Sora looked completely confused. Shiro explained bluntly so that even they would understand. There is one thing brother misses about our old world. Which was that? This world lacks porn. What? Questioning aloud for both Steph and Sora, but with different meanings. In Sora's case, it was the protest against an overly blunt demonstration. In Steph's case, porn? What do you mean? It was an innocent inquiry. While manipulating her phone, Cheryl responded. Materials for fapping, photographs, videos, etc. Fantasies to aid the fap. Collectively, they are called porn. That big. The Steph, who apparently still didn't understand, Cheryl, still without expression, closed one hand loosely and pumped it up and down. This is one of those moments where it's like, I wish I wish I had free use of my arms and hands because I would copy it for the drama of it all. For the drama. Closed one hand loosely and pumped it up and down. Imagine. What? Steph's face reddened so violently it seemed it should make a boom. Shiro went further and started a video playing on her phone and then showed it to Steph. A video of Steph washing Shiro's hair, the bath scene. Steph, this is the meaning of your existence. Wow. Steph's reddened face blanched, then dropped and quivered. So anyone would do. All he wanted was an outlet for his sexual urges. And on top of that, he was, doing that stuff while looking at his naked sister. The horror! The horror! So disgusting. You're scum! Steph shouted and fled the room as Sora watched her dazed. Then, to Shiro, who had returned to reading her book on the edge of the bed without apparent concern, he noted, "Hey, my thoughts aren't exactly that dirty, you know." I summarized. "I think you mean stomach." And about that bath video, I thought you said it wasn't okay and didn't ever let me see it. Could it be you're trying to get Steph to hate me on purpose? I'm just 11. I don't get this confusing stuff. You sure know how to act like a kid when it's convenient for you. You don't want the photo from just now? Oh, excuse me, director. I am much obliged. I love Shiro. However, after all, what was the difference between romantic feelings and sexual desire? As Sora pondered such philosophical questions of great weight, 18-year-old virgin, in a voice too soft to hear, Shiro, his sister who wasn't blood related, mumbled, "Just 7 more years." They say girls mature emotionally faster than boys. Indeed, in this case at least, that was an incontrovertible fact. Oh god, oh god. Meanwhile, Steph walking through the corridors of the castle with rigid shoulders, furious at having been called a mere Chekhov's toy. No, at herself for being hurt by that, she screamed indiscriminately. Oh god, I knew it! This feeling is an illusion brought on by a covenant. It's a manner of curse. But Steph didn't notice. That beast, that, no words. There's no way I should love him. It must be the covenant. That Sora had suggested releasing her from the covenant. That is to say, the solution of playing another game and saying, "Don't love me." She'd ignored it completely and even forgotten about it. And what that meant. Oh, we're at the epilogue! The epilogue. Fine. And there's an afterword too, for sure. First. Told you this was a lot shorter. Just hang out a little bit afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. A lot shorter. Yeah, this is the first book. But okay, epilogue. Reception chamber. Elkia Royal Castle. On the single throne sat two, playing a TSP game. A black-haired young man in jeans and an I Heart People t-shirt with a queen's tiara wrapped around his arm. A white-skinned, long-haired girl with red eyes and a black sailor suit, with the king's crown tying up her hair. In fact, they were this country's king, Sora, and queen, Shiro, the sibling. I'm telling you, we're going naked and you're setting off traps? That's ridiculous. For efficiency. If you want efficiency, then why are we playing naked? Let's play for real, dude. That would just waste time. It wouldn't be fun. They brought a large volume of games to this world, but they were all games they literally maxed out, which meant it was questionable whether they were even good for killing time. But there was a reason they were killing time. It was, I'm done changing. Hearing her voice, the two immediately sleeved their games and took out their phones. The one who had appeared was a beautiful girl with auburn hair, and features suggesting refinement. But wearing a maid outfit that was just revealing enough, but not excessively tacky. Stephanie Dola, the blood kin of the previous king, former royalty, and now to Steph appearing with her face bright red. Sora nevertheless asked, is it revealing enough to blush over? I didn't let her wear underwear. And there's Shiro, making everything a little spicier. Could you not spell that out? The cry of Steph. Indeed, these two leaders were exploring the boundaries of R18, seeing herself a slave of love. No, probably by now, no more than a plaything of the two. Steph looked up at the ceiling in self-hatred. The obviously not wearing any effect is so prevalent in two-dimensional imagery. But it doesn't quite do it. You're right, director. We can't move frame by frame like in 2D. It's most inconvenient. Should we strip her? Steph, can you show some more skin without revealing your nipples or other juicy bits? Don't call them juicy bits! And then, pop. No, that's not okay when she's not wearing any, director. Don't worry, I anticipated this. And used bandages. Well... I don't think that's okay. Then what about a very small swimsuit? Not okay? Well, now that you mention it. But director, by that logic, it would be okay for her to be totally naked if she was wearing bandages. All ages is hard. Reclining back on his throne, Sora said in a small voice, but then, no matter how close to the edge we record her, I'm never actually gonna get off, am I? Instead, I'm just gonna get more and more frustrated. But Shiro, her ears sharp enough to pick it up, said, I don't mind. Go ahead. Okay, here comes the picture. Here comes the picture. Boop. See, it's safe. It's fine. Did I read what you said about catching me? Oh, let me see. It has to be earned through love, not force. Oh, so much dedication. Are you sure you wouldn't get tired chasing me? Are you sure? If you say so. Guess you'll have to try hard. But honestly, there's an easy way to catch. Like when you're trying to get a dog to come back and they're running away, and then you get a treat so they come back. That's really all you have to do. just wave a treat in the air and I'll come back. Yeah, literally. The lack of panties just a tad bit. Yeah, if the skirt was just actually higher, if the skirt was a little bit higher up, I'd have to censor it. But it's fine, like, probably. Probably. So, next. Hey, actually, your brother isn't an exhibition. Don't worry, I won't look, just like at home. Wait, hold on there. I always waited until I saw you were asleep first. Your rustling around wakes me up. I can't. You were always awake? Sora holding his face beat red. Oh my god. I'm like totally ruined now. If I was him, I would be traumatized. When I first read this, I was like, oh my god. Shiro's a little freak. Also, I would be traumatized. Awful, awful. It's okay. I'll take damaged goods. The sister comforted him, patting him on the shoulder. And then, if you're totally ruined, what does that make me after you've made me go around like this? Steph, who'd been meanwhile shaking her shoulder, shouted out and then continued as if having reached her limit. And anyway, you made me handle the procedures for the coronation and the succession. And you made me stay up for 3 nights. And then you call me out and it's this? God, you think you're so great. We are the monarch. That makes us great. On Shiro's quite reasonable words, Sora continued casually. We've been up 3 days too, you know. We can do 2 more or so. No problem. Playing games, right? Yes, games. The job of the monarch in this world. Ugh. Indeed, in this world where everything was decided by games, even national borders, being good at games was a condition for being a monarch, and it was a justifiable thing to call training. Man, here we can just play games all day and people call it a real job. This place is heaven. As Sora's burbling as if he had found Shangri-La, Steph shouted, No, we don't! You've got domestic affairs you should be taking care of. You finished the succession? Yes, I did. Before you called me. That's what I was waiting for. I'm the type who likes to get domestic affairs done all at once. Civ. With that, he shifted Shiro aside and stood from the throne. We'll make maki sushi? Oh. I don't know if I've had that. Look it up. Peace. Oh, it just means it's rolled? Okay. I've had regular rolled. I like really simple sushis. I don't eat the ones that have a bunch of stuff in them. Or if someone brings it to me, I'll pick it out. Which is probably rude, but I don't want it. I don't want it. So, will you call the ministers? Dot dot dot. Before the ministers who gathered in the great assembly hall, Sora and Shiro rising to the podium. But they interrupted all kinds of reports to lay out. I have something to tell you first. Looking around at the faces of everyone, Sora, the king of the human race, spoke again, carefully. As you all know, humanity currently finds itself in a tight spot. Given that we mean to take offensive, we have no room to look behind us. As such, to eliminate concerns for the future, we shall play rock, paper, scissors. Swinging his open hand above his head, he announced in a ringing voice to all the attentive ministers, The wager is the state of being prohibited hereafter from making any false reports, including selective or manipulative communication of information. We shall play a game by the covenants, and you shall intentionally lose to form a contract, taking advantage of the absolutely binding rule written in the covenants by throwing a match. With his face asking why no one had thought of something so simple, Sora continued. And so, my good subjects, let us remember that the fate of the human race rests on our shoulders as we play this game. I shall throw scissors, and all of you shall throw paper. Lose purposely and prove your loyalty. Incidentally, if there are any among you who, slighting the powers of observation and memory of the siblings before you, has a mind to reject set up in the contract, I suggest you leave now. Thus, having warned them from trying to resist the covenant by pretending to lose, Sora sang out, Ashente! Ashente! As the swearing of the contract echoed, they began their rock, paper, scissors, and thus the contract was concluded. Your sushi got rejected. I mean, you can still make it. I'll just pick out the yucky part. I'll still eat it. I'll just pick out the parts I like. The veggie. All the veggie. So then, let's start with the Minister of Agriculture. Your report. Your Majesty, our country is currently facing a dire situation in regard to food. Listening to the explanation of the system of farming, its management, allocation of taxes, etc. After it was all finished, Sora nodded once. I have understood. Then implement the measures I shall henceforth state. Yes, sir. Regarding production, you shall introduce crop rotation. Can you explain, sir? Okay, here comes our world geography special. a single field, rotate in order between cultivating winter cereals such as wheat, root vegetables like turnips, beets, summer cereals like rye, and forage crops such as clover, which serve to restore the fertility of the soil. This will lead to decreased cropping of cereals, but increased cropping of root vegetables and legumes. Is it legumes or legumes? I've never heard that word out loud, so I have no idea. In particular, introducing the cultivation of turnips and the like will resolve fodder shortages and enable livestock to be raised through the winter. Further, the soil regenerative properties of the manure and forage crops will eliminate the need to leave fields fallow. Sora spouted it off as if it was obvious. All in presence could only stand speechless at the revolutionary proposals of their king. Moreover, keys to success in this plan shall be a concentrated labor force and the gathering of scattered croplands into specific areas. These policies may put some small and mid-scale farmers out of work, but the production of food will improve by a factor of 4 or more. Implement these instructions with the highest priority. He even pointed out the potential issues. What about the budget? We shall issue bonds for purchase by banks, but please entrust this matter to the Minister of Economy. As you wish, sir. Next, we must address the unemployment resulting from this plan. Minister of Economy, Minister of Industry, your report. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. In this manner, regarding the king who proposed groundbreaking reforms to solve all kinds of problems one after the other. And a meeting lasted only 4 hours. Among the ministers, it came to be whispered that he was the wisest king in human history. Playing with the tablet he held, Sora said, "Man, I sure was right to download all those reference books for quiz game study cramming." On his tablet were over 40,000 books of an academic nature, from math, science, astronomy, physics, and engineering, medicine, history, and military tactics. Even data extracted and saved from that good old wiki professor. In other words, he had most of the knowledge of the human race as of the early 21st century. That would be really handy in a world. Basically speeding up their whole development. Kind of like Dr. Stone, actually. Oh, I need more Dr. Stone. I'm going through it. I hate catching up to manga. It's so hard to wait for chapters every week. The sushi has no yucky parts. It's just cucumber, avocado, cream cheese, rice, and seaweed. I would pick out the cucumber, the avocado, and the cream cheese. And then it would be good. Yes. It would be good. Legumes. Okay. That's what I thought, but, you know. I'm not sure all the time. Not so sure. Seaweed is good. Yes, I'm picky, but I like stuff that I like. Seaweed is green and it's crunchy and it's salty, so it's good. Yep. That's my criteria. It's a plant and it's green and it's crunchy and it's good. It's simple. I like seaweed on its own too. I'll eat it like as a snack. Good. Love it. Okay. Brother, you're always so shady. That's cheating. Though Cheryl pointed this out with her usual half-closed eyes, Sora knitted his brow. Considering we're in a world with an official cheat like magic, would you not call me a cheater just for introducing a little technology from another world? And come on, these domestic affairs are kind of urgent, aren't they? That said, introducing too much future technology at once could cause unexpected strains. To be honest, he wanted to introduce electrical engineering sooner than later, but if we could just make cameras and cameras and mics, it would probably help some in fighting magic. Their current situation, with only 2 phones with useless antennas, could hardly be seen as comfortable. Perhaps they should, after all, start looking for a way to contact the Flugel, and Steph appeared softly in the assembly hall, still wearing her skimpy maid outfit. That is, just as Sora and Shiro had made her dress and then left her. Sora, no, your Majesty, you have a visitor. Damn, you greeted a visitor in that getup? You've got guts. Steph, you're amazing. If it's okay for me to change, why didn't you say so? Ah. Covering his ears from the weeping scream of Steph, Sora waved his hand. Oh yeah, sorry. So go hurry up and fix yourself. Jeez. People are going to wonder about the quality of our country. People are going to wonder about the quality of your head. However, without waiting for Steph's guidance, a voice rang through the However, without waiting for Steph's guidance, a voice rang through the assembly hall. Ahahaha, it seems you're having a lot of fun here. Into the great assembly hall where Sora and Shiro and Steph and the ministers were assembled. Tick tick, walked a boy. Sora and Shiro recognized his face. It was unmistakable. He was the one, stretching his hands out of the computer, who had brought them into this world. Well, if it isn't the so-called God, how's it hanging? Oh, I'm not so-called, I am God. Scratching his head, ahaha, the voice spoke. Come to think of it, I think I forgot to tell you my name. Tet, that's my name. It's a pleasure, blank. Wham! As soon as the voice said Tet, the atmosphere in the room changed. The impact of the holy name? Everyone except two, Shiro and Sora, found their pores opening and sweat blasting out. The ministers shook with their faces drained of blood. Steph with a body on the verge of collapsing. Yet without his seeming to take a whit of notice. What do you think of my world? Does it tickle your fancy? Yeah, you've got a great aesthetic. Our God ought to take some lessons for you. Nod, nod. Watching Sora and Shiro sassing God, everyone around felt their hearts squeezed almost hard enough to rupture. The one standing before them was the one true God, Tet, he who had the authority to erase the world and make a new one on a whim. But Tet himself just smiled back with no sign of concern. I'm glad to hear it. So it looks like the crisis to the survival of humanity has been averted for now. Averted. Yep, just as you wanted. Everyone made faces that said, huh? As if it just so happened that the nearest city just so happened to be the last human country, and it just so happened to be competing to decide the monarch. Right. Come on. You're not going to try and tell me that was all a coincidence, are you? To Sora's brazen speech, the god replied with a joyful smile. But don't get the wrong idea. My philosophy is basically to be an observer. I don't support any particular race, but yeah, I guess I'll admit, in this case, I had some personal feelings involved. The boy Tet kicked the ground and pouted as if bored. He said, I wonder if you remember what I said. You know, that everything is decided by games in this world? Yeah. Sora grasped the intent behind his words and said it preemptively. I see. So even the throne of the one true God is decided by games. What? Everyone around could only gasp this, except Shiro, who seemed impressed. And Tet alone smiled mirthfully and spoke. That's right. That's why I made it so there are 16 seeds. With a click, everything came together in Sora's head. X seed, the chessboard beyond the horizon, the god who said he lived over there. The number of pieces on one side of a chessboard, 16, meaning you rule over all races as a champion, so they're the challenge against the god on the table. Tet smiled pleasantly and replied, What a nimble mind you have! You're so adaptable. It's hard to believe you just came from another world. Well, thank you. I mean it. But even though I was looking forward to playing a game with my title as God at stake, I got stuck for 1,000 years with nothing to do. So when I was wandering around another world, I happened to hear the rumor about you guys, blank. With a sense of excitement and deep interest, the god looked at Sora and Shiro and said, You know, the rumors about the game are always at the top of all kinds of games, which they were even starting to call an urban legend. The god smiled, Sora grinned back. Hey God, should you be smiling? Huh? You knew about us when you summoned us to this world. You knew our you knew our blanks policy. We always stand at the top of any game, right? Yeah, of course. And then God grinned back. That's why I figured that you guys would definitely come to win the right to challenge me. Everyone around froze. It meant, to say nothing of the greatest country in the world, Elf, rank 7. They aimed even for the old Deuce and Phantasma, for rank 1, which meant to conquer and control all the X-Seeds. It was no longer a question on the level of world conquest. So God, let me ask you one more time. Should you be smiling? Don't you remember that you lost to us once already? At this time, truly, no one could believe their ears. The God lost? To mere humans here? But Tet laughed it off. I'm sure you've grasped this well already, but the games in this world are a whole different story than some online chess game in your world. It's true that I lost to you siblings at normal chess. That's why I summoned you here, but next time, I'm not gonna lose. And with that, Sora and Shiro, both siblings seeming to grasp something together, looked at each other and smiled. Hey God. The God answered genially? You know. Just call me Tet. What is it? Okay, Tet, you've never lost before, had you? At that simple question, Tet's smile thinned into an impudent grin. The God of Play lost for the first time, and he was so mad he couldn't stand it. So he summoned us to this world to beat us playing by this world's rules this time, and am I right? How interesting. What makes you think that? Tet put the question to them, keeping his smile upon the surface. Xseed sounds too much like XD. It kinda does. Especially the way I say it. It does sound a little bit like XD. That was silly. Tet put oh right. Tet put the question to them, keeping his smile on the surface. Because we know just how you feel. Blank has not a single loss, but we've lost to each other over and over. But we don't let each other quit while they're ahead. As a result, my pure genius sister is specialized in games themselves. Brother's gotten better, but only at dirty tricks. Hey, what do you mean dirty? Diplomacy is part of the game. Cheating is cowardly. It's fine as long as no one catches you. That's how it works in this world too, right? Cheater. At this sibling banter, Tet laughed heartily, while everyone but the siblings cowered before him. Yeah, I was right to summon you two. You're right. I'm not gonna let you quit while you're ahead. Next time, I'm gonna win. Basically, that's why I summoned you. Are you disappointed in me? Nah, I'm more relieved it wasn't some lofty reason like save the human race. So you descended from the heavens today just to tell us that? You really are bored. Nah, I came to thank you. After you guys, humanity, took down Elvengard, albeit indirectly, the whole world's gotten anxious, just as you planned. It seems the Eastern Union takes an interest in that phone you showed them, and they can't sleep at night thinking about what country might be behind it. I wonder why. There's also another ball of curiosity. Gee, Avitheim, that is fascinated with the technology you used to defeat Elvengard. Meanwhile, Elvengard themselves are rushing to identify what country has this technology that beat them. If they knew you actually smashed them head on without cheating, with those guys you might get dissected. Thus, having been generously provided information by Tet, Sora, suspiciously. Didn't you say you don't support any particular race? Sure, so this is just by way of thanks. This world was getting boring, so I'm giving you information as thanks for heating it up again. This is the first and last time, so use it well. Smiling, taking a step back without turning, Tet continued. Alright, it seems like if I stick around, you guys are never going to be able to relax. So I'll take my leave. See ya! As this god made to leave, Sora and Shiro spoke up. Hey, Tet. Yeah? Thanks for giving us a new life. You were right. This world is where we belong. Thank you, God. And this time, all three spoke together. See you soon. Next time, on the chessboard. And then Tet disappeared, as if melting into the air. Everyone let out all their breath, as if they were finally permitted to breathe. Have you heard a rumor that goes like this? That's one amusing god we've got here. I want to play him again. A gamer set unbeatable records in the online rankings for all kinds of games and swept up the top rank. But one day the gamer suddenly disappeared. The accelerating urban legend ultimately rose to the status of myth. Was the one true God? Your Majesty. Is it true that you vanquished the god? Wait, we should really be worried about the Eastern Union. You mean Elvengard. If our king and queen were to be targeted personally. And now, that story has stopped and become a myth in that world. Saw its continuation in a new setting, a world called Discord. Shut up! Don't all talk at once! Brother. Yeah, I know. Sora rose up to the podium, then leapt upon the table in the center, spreading his arms, and spoke to all assembled. Now, as a convention. And as a grace, I'd like to open as follows. Once upon a time. Come, let the games begin. Let us make the objective. Overthrow the god! Now then, let me tell you the newest. And here's the afterword. Technically we're done, but I'm gonna read the afterword too. But yeah. And see, I'll see you. There's a little manga at the end in the book. So let's see if it's in the PDF. Well, it's just one page. Well, there's a few more pages. I'll see if they're in the PDF here. Getting isekai into the world you belong. It does seem like a nice world to live in. Like, once, of course, there's, the politics, but every world has politics, so maybe if you're like a werebeast, it would be like an ideal place to live. Because it seems like the werebeasts have technology. So if you're a werebeast, you get to be a cute half animal thing. And you get technology, and you don't have to worry about being in danger. It'd be a terrible world to live in. I don't think it would be, because if you remember, like if someone challenges you to a game, you could say no. You could say no, or if you're choosing the game, you pick something you're good at. So I don't think it would be that bad. And there's regular stuff. Like, you could just have a job. Like, there's people there with just regular jobs. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just want to be a furry. I don't care about technology. I care about both equally, okay? But of course, I don't need technology. I'm furry. But technically, they're more like animal girls. Because they're not. Well, some of them are furry. I don't know if I would want to be a furry or an animal girl. Hard to choose. Okay, let me read the afterword. Okay. Oh yeah, this is it. I've always wanted to write one of these, an afterword. Nice to meet you. I've always been the guy doing the illustration, and I've always wanted to try sitting in the author's seat and writing the afterword. And today, my dream has finally come true. I'm the author and illustrator, Yu Kamiya. So originally, I'm a mangaka. Yeah, I'm on leave, as they say. I've come down with a bit of a nasty illness, so I had to take a break from drawing manga, which is very demanding. Plus now, thanks to Itsuka Tenma no Kuro Usagi, Dark Rabbit, a Dark Rabbit has 7 lives, published under the Fantasia Bunko imprint. I might even be better known as an illustrator than a mangaka now. And now that I've started writing novels too, what am I originally anyway? Anyway, I'm also a mangaka. And No Game No Life is my novel debut. Actually, I originally conceived of it as a manga. I wasn't going to be the one drawing it though. It was for someone. I was just meant to be the story by guy. The person who was supposed to draw it told me, I love fantasy, but I can't stand battles. And knowing how hard it was to draw a battle manga, I wanted to grant that wish. So, what about a fantasy world where you can't battle? I thought, and combined with games, that to which I devoted all my waking, non working hours. A world where even national borders are decided by games, by play for Dominion. So, this upside down idea, I took my personal interest full throttle to make this. Unfortunately, the project never reached fruition. Thinking, I sure would like to realize this one day, I was left with a plot and a bunch of notes. And then after that, I was forced to take a break from manga due to troublesome physical issues. Bloody roar Kipa. Oh, get it. Bloody roar Kipa. Bloody roar. You know, I'm trying not to be like, a lot of people have a bunch of different forms of their character. I don't want to. I feel like if I make a form, it'll be hard not to make a ton of other forms, but I kind of want, like, in anime when a demon unlocks their full power and get like another boosted form, I want that, like a scary kind of one. Well, not scary, like too scary, but I don't know, like edgy. Like my Shadow the Hedgehog. This isn't even my final form for. I think it would be fun. Maybe one day. It's not a high priority. The small demon grows a pair of impressive bazookas. I don't know. I don't think I would add. I don't think I would go the just more mature looking route. I don't think I want to do that. I don't want titties. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. I feel like even then I wouldn't add them. But something like that would be fun one day. Not in my priorities. As many forms as I want as long as they're all flat. So true. I was super vegetating in a hospital. Didn't even let me bring in my game. This is not your appointed time to die as a creator. What? It's not that old. Still works. Don't give up on it. So anyway, I get it. I didn't get that the first time I read it, but I get it this time. While I was lying there in the hospital, I made a lot of changes to the plot to make it convenient as a novel series. I mean, perfect. And now here, hey, come to think of it, my editor was saying there are people who decide whether to buy based on the afterword, so sell, or something like that. Okay, how's this look? Oh yeah, the pictures are here. Her little is her panty. Is that okay? Yep. A mess. So you can go back and pause it. Uh uh uh. Convincingly. Yeah, that's pretty much what the book is like. Or it could be false advertising on the level of a Hollywood movie trailer. Those of you reading the afterword first will just have to read the book to find out. For those of you reading it last, yeah, well, if it sells well enough to make a comic, let's just consider that the flag for me to draw it and laugh. And Mr. Kamiya, Mr. Kamiya. Huh? Oh, what is it, Editor S? Shall we start looking for someone to draw the comic? After all, you have a track record when it comes to manga, and sorry about that. My signal's not very good and I can't hear you. Actually, in the first place, what are you trying to do? Saying, I can't draw manga due to my health, so I want to try writing a novel, since it's less demanding. And then you draw a manga in the back of the book? You're the one who told me to draw one! Huh? All I said was, It's almost unprecedented for the author and illustrator to be the same person, who's also a mangaka. So please take advantage of that to sell the book. Are you telling me I should interpret that otherwise than draw a manga? Well, I didn't say so explicitly. For a moment there, my editor's character reminded me of our protagonist. Maybe I should have emphasized Stephanie's hatred more. Oh, come to think of it, this is coming out of the same month as Takaya Kagami. Oh, this is the rabbit thing. Or blah blah blah. For which I also did the illustration. Put super effort into that as well, so please buy it if you must. So as I write this, I'm still not totally done yet, and actually right now I'm in Brazil. For the health reasons alluded to above, I'm back in my home country for a time. Actually, text and illustrations of this No Game No Life volume, illustrations for the new volume of Itsu 10 mentioned above, were almost all composed in Brazil. A big trunk filled with my LCD tablet and PC and a huge load of packing materials. Purpose of your trip? Medical reasons. What's all this equipment for? Work. Well, it shouldn't be too hard to imagine the trouble I went through at customs. Yeah, it's crazy, right? I'm a sick goddamn guy. What am I doing getting cared for on the other side of the world while answering two companies that they badger me for delivery? Excuse me, Mr. Kamiya? Yes, what is it, Editor S for sadist? I'm more of a masochist, really. Mr. Fujimi and I explained the schedule to you in advance, didn't we? I don't remember agreeing. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, when you call me the day before New Year's Eve Comiket, when I'm making the final sprint in the middle of the end of the year insanity, of course I would feel like sending you off with what you want to hear. Well, frankly, that's entirely your Editor S's epic sadism aside. Well, that's the successor to Takia Kagami's previous editor, Catherine, alright. There was an ambush no matter how you look at it, pouncing on me when I'm mentally unsound. I feel really bad for people who work on comics, honestly. At one point I wanted to make comic, like a web comic, but I decided I wanted to be happy, so I didn't do that. Literally, I was like, I want to be happy in the future, so I'm gonna not do that. Like, I'm grateful to everyone's work. Everyone who makes comics are so incredible, but everyone talks about how horrible and miserable it is, and I cannot do it. It's not for me. So, is this a good time? For what? An extension. I didn't quite get that. It must be the signal. Come to think of it, who was it who let me put the text on a diet by 8 pages to achieve the desired page count, and then announce the same day I got back to Japan? I forgot to account for the 10 black and white illustrations. Can't you pretend that never happened? If you cut this out in editing, I'll tweet on you. I love that threat. I'll tweet on you. I, Editor S, most humbly and sincerely apologize and ask for forgiveness for my failure and indiscretion, and not only greatly inconveniencing you by my own grave error, but furthermore expecting you, the author, the great Yu Kamiya, to clean up the mess I made. Yes, now that I've succeeded in paying back a grown-up, I hope to meet you again in the next volume. Farewell. Oh, by the way, Mr. Kamiya, when will you have the manuscript for the second volume ready? Mr. Kamiya, are you there? Hello? And there we go! That's the book! Here's a little picture at the end. Oh, there's one more. Here's, what's her name? Izuna. I love Izuna! She's so cute. And if you saw my picture I posted a while ago, of my No Game No Life figures, I have the swimsuit figure of her. Her gigantic ears, I love it. And then the Sugo. I love her too. She's so cute. So cute. And that's gonna be it. That's it for that book. We finished it. So let me move to my other chat window and turn some music on. We'll talk for a little bit. I'll read the chat. I'll catch up. Blah blah blah. Oh, we did it! Yay! Yay! Woohoo! Woo! Yay! Mouse. Musica. Still music. Here? Yeah, okay. Kipa can read barely. Barely. I'm a lot better at reading in my head. I'm a super fast reader, so when I read out loud, I trip up on my words a lot. Because I'm going ahead. It's hard for me to go at the same pace as my voice. Let me catch up. Oh. Said, what can I do? I said I was glad that I thought about being a comic artist before. But after reading so many experiences and seeing what the industry is like, and even seeing what it's like for webcomic artists, I kind of realized it was not something I wanted to do. I don't think I want to dedicate most of my time to making a comic. I like drawing single illustrations too much. I like exploring a lot of different things. So I just felt it wasn't really a good fit for me. I just like comics. Basically, I had to figure out the difference between things that I like and things that I want to do. Like, there's a lot of art stuff I like, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do. It's actually kind of difficult for me to realize that. Just draw small broken stories. I do want to do shorter things, maybe. Like 4-panel stuff, or maybe one-off stuff, you know? Yeah, exactly. Like a short comic strip from time to time if I just want to explore like a little moment. I'm certainly not against that. Yeah. Animation's another thing. I was really into animation where I would practice drawing them like in Flash a lot and in what is it called in the DS? Flipnote Studio. But doing actually nice animations is not my thing. But I love moving stuff, so I was really happy getting into Live 2D because I can do animation without having to do frame by frame. And it's really fun for me. I don't feel like it's a drag. I like doing frame by frame in the sketch phase only. Once I get to the cleanup, I hate it. Every second of it. Genuinely. There's so little I ever finished frame by frame because it was awful. You wrote a story, 20 chapters, 140 pages handwritten, but ending it became tough. That's a lot. I don't think I've ever wrote a story that long. Oh wait, no, I misread. 140 pages. I think I've written something in a similar length, but it wasn't properly formatted. It was just like writing only for this. Hold on, let me see if I can fix the chat real quick. I want all the messages in the window. But I think I hold them in the window. cut off? Why did it cut off? Ah. Okay, I'll fix it later. I want all of the words in the thing. But it's cut off. Annoying. It was an anime story? Oh, you were writing your own little light novel. Just like what we were reading. You've been writing some stuff lately due to being stuck at home. Chat boxes often work better if you edit the property. Oh, okay, fine. Oh, okay, okay. That fixed. Ah! Okay, talk. Somebody talk. Somebody say something. Everybody say something. Okay. Somebody say something. No, it's still too... What should I make? No, it still cuts off a little bit. I'll fix it later. I don't care. I don't care anymore. He wrote a short alternative history of Capello becoming Director Supremo of the Mexican Commonwealth. Okay. I'm gonna put it back to the size I had it so I can fit it in the box better. I'll edit it later. I purged it again. I'll fix it later. I don't know Spanish. I do not know Spanish. Kipa! What? What? I don't know what that says. I don't know Spanish. Can I hear you? No, I can't. I can't hear you. I can only read. Huh? I'm not deaf. Why are you? What are you talking about? I'm not deaf. Yeah, that's what will happen. If you mess with my ears, I won't be able to hear anything. I can never hear you. I don't know. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. And rude. So rude. You'll have to use Morse code. Isn't Morse code also... Isn't that still sound based? Or no? Am I stupid? Morse code. Huh. I guess you can use Morse code in different ways, can't you? I have an antenna right here on in the middle of my head. Here. Can I say that in a cute way? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, what is cute? I don't I don't know. I'm just a creature. What did you say in Morse code? Said E I I don't know if I'm reading the chart right. Put it in a Morse code chart. I have to find one. Morse code brand. Better not be something mean. Or else. It says, everybody, if you want to know, it says, send nudes. Banned. Banned. Blocked. Reported. Well, my expressions that I never use. Expressions that I never. You can die in peace now. Why? Don't die. My angry expression. I don't know if I have it on this one. Let's see. Nothing. Let's see. I'm mad now. Wait, I can't laugh if I'm mad. I'm not sending nudes. Never. Never ever. Well, I don't really get mad, so it's more like, you know, I don't know how to be mad. I laugh too much. Sorry. I laugh too much. This is my favorite one that I have. This one. Oh. This one. This is my favorite one. Even though I'm a demon. I love the little halo. I have another halo. I'll show you someday. I have another halo. But it's not on this one. So you'll have to see another day. Well, I mean, if you think about it, demons and angels are basically the same thing. In my opinion. I would never say that. I would never say that. What does that even mean? Juicy. Juicy. I don't think I'm saying that. Sussy! Oh my god. I said Susie. That sounds like bussy. But I couldn't figure out what the S was. Or like thrusty. What would sussy be? What body part would that be? Hey, pussy, no! No! You'll get suspended like me. You'll get suspended. We really say it. You heard a voiced creepypasta about an exorcism, where the person couldn't be exorcised because they were possessed by an angel, not a demon. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about an angel possessing somebody, but definitely possible. But oh, what I was saying earlier about that though is like, I feel like angels and demons overlap a lot. So it's really not that unusual for me to have a halo. It's just, you know, I don't have it all the time. But I feel like, cause aren't demons or like Satan, isn't he a fallen angel? So they're the same thing. It's it's the same. I don't go here. It's the same. Go by Bible lore, all demons are fallen angels. Exactly. So when it comes to demons, I just kind of read about lore from all different kinds of things, so I kind of just pick and choose the parts I think are interesting. I would like to have some of the books that I like in physical copies, but I don't want people to like freak out, you know? I like reading books that are about like demonology and stuff. I think they're fun and they're interesting. But I don't want people to worry about me. So I keep them digital. I'm a little fallen angel. What is my crime? You'll never know. What is my crime? What did I commit? Murder! Joking. I'm joking. The crime of cuteness. The cute crime. It is a crime these days. People can't handle it. They get cute aggression. You know, when people see something so cute, they just get violent about it. That's literally what it is. It's sad. They don't even realize. Very sad. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your soul. Look at the screen. I'm looking into your soul right now. I'm judging you. I see what you're doing. I always wondered, like, should I look directly at you, or is it weird if I just stare like this? Is that weird? Should I just look at the chat? Should I stare at you specifically? No. Yeah, y'all, I'm going on vacation. I'm gonna be gone for a little while. You gotta behave. There's lots of other people you can hang out with, so it'll be fine. But you gotta behave, okay? Mommy, Jesus. That's a lot of responsibility. I'm not a mom. I'm not good at taking care of things. So you do not want me as your mom. Okay. What's behaving? Don't cause me problems. That's behaving. Really all I can think of at the moment. But I like to be one? No. Scary. scary. I would be happier being called sister. Yeah, I would like to be a little sister. I am not good at taking care of things, okay? Demon MILF. The bar for what a MILF is so low, if you're gonna call me that. So low. The bar is so low. Okay, that reminds me. I have to complain now. You reminded me. Okay, on certain doujin's site, they have tags for all the content. So you can click a tag to go to the content you want to see. Right? Yes, we all understand that. The problem is, some of the tags are not used properly. For example, the DILF tag. DILF, the DILF tag. If you go into that tag, what should you have in the tag? You should have attractive, older male characters. Okay, so why, when I go in the DILF tag, is it all ugly bastard? Why? Why would you put ugly bastard in the DILF tag? That makes me so mad. And grandpas and creepy old guys do not go in the DILF tag. I hate it so much. It makes me so mad. I'm so mad. That does not go there. I hate all of you. I hate all of you. I'm blaming all of you. Everybody. When you go in the lolly tag and you find huge boob futanari or exclusive yaoi shota. Well, in that case, that's just the search is broken. Clearly something went wrong if you're finding yaoi in the lolly tag. No, I'm not. I'm not into ugly bastards because I'm a girl that likes guys. So I want to see hot guys. I do not want to see ugly bastards. Okay? I want to see a hot guy and a cute, smaller character. Is that too much to ask for? Clearly. Clearly. I'm oppressed every day. So oppressed. Are you saying you're an ugly bastard? Don't say that about yourself. Don't say that about yourself. You're not a, what's the word? You're not a character in a doujin. These tags do not apply to real people. It's not this. You didn't say the mirror, did Jesus? Deep down, we're all ugly bastards, even if just a bit. Whenever there's a comic and there's a character and it's like the creepy otaku guy, I feel like that's me. Like on the inside. Like that's my soul. It's the creepy otaku guy. But I can get away with it because you don't expect it. Like a lot of my friends that aren't into anime in real life that know me, they think I'm like super innocent and pure. They think I don't know about like anything. I had one of my friends try and explain what yaoi was to me. And she was like, I don't want to shock you, but there's some art and it gets kind of sexual. And I was sitting there like, oh girl. Oh, you sweet summer child. This is so funny. I just don't say anything. Funny. It gets kind of sexual. Yeah, serious. That's happened to you before. It's funny what people's impressions are. And then they get to know you and they're like, oh, Jesus. You hear that? I don't think so. A little squeak sound. Can you hear that? I don't think so. I was making a little squeak sound from my nose for a second. Every time I took a breath, it did a little squeak. Oh damn, you're this much of a degenerate. Wasn't expecting that. Literally. That happened. Some of my friends from college follow me on Twitter, and I just think about that sometimes. Sometimes they'll DM me and we'll just talk about normal stuff. And then I'm like, you see my tweets? You see my tweets? There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing could be done. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, and one thing I wanted to say, when I come back, I'm probably gonna do a bunch of unarchived working on commission streams to catch up on commissions. I'll probably be doing those on POF though, because I have a lot of R18 commissions I need to work on. So I'll probably do a lot of commission streams, maybe 3 or 4. So, because it would either be that or I just don't stream and I just work. But I know everyone likes to hang out, so might as well do it at the same time, you know? Because I get bored if I'm just sitting there drawing cucumber eating stream. Why? Why a cucumber eating stream? Why? Crunchy sound. Crunchy sound. Crunchy. Crunchy. Oh, jeez. That was too crunchy. 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 Crunch. I bit it. That's my water bottle. I don't have a cucumber. I chomped my water bottle. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. I saw the thing going to red, but it'll be fine. Yeah, it's funny when I talk to people about anime for the first time. And they start with something really tame. And then I just go all in and they're like, oh geez. Like, and sometimes people get the impression that I'm not as into anime as them because I haven't watched a lot of the basic ones that everyone has seen. Like, we all know I haven't watched Dragon Ball. And I haven't watched Sailor Moon either. And that's usually what people start with when they talk to me, and I'm like, I haven't seen that. Sorry. Are you into anime? No, just that time. I like a lot of popular anime. It's just not those two that everyone seems to be into. When I was younger, I watched Tokyo Mew Mew, so I didn't watch Sailor Moon. I I picked Tokyo Mew Mew because they had cat ears. And that's literally it. I was like, Sailor Moon sucked. They don't have cat ears. League Legend of the Galactic Heroes. That sounds familiar. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I haven't watched this. Either. This looks like something that my friends would watch to ship the character. Didn't watch Sailor Moon because it was for girls. Honestly, I was like that with anime for a long time too. I didn't watch any of the cute ones because I was like, those are for girls and girl stuff sucks. I'm gonna watch anime where the characters beat each other up with their fist only. And swords. I'm only gonna watch stuff with swords. Yeah, I'm not really into space stuff, so that's probably why I haven't watched it. I'm not a sci-fi space kind of person. Not like into spaceships and stuff. I did like Space Dandy though. But usually space stuff does not catch my attention. I actually started watching Cardcaptor Sakura last year. I didn't finish it yet. But I really like it so far. I love the art style a lot. I really want to find a way to incorporate the things I like about that art into my style. Little do they know, Sakura was once the queen of Lolly. Tomoyo X Sakura is the only ship. I want to draw that! I do want to draw that. Tomoyo and Sakura. I really want to. I just can't. I just needed to decide on like a drawing, you know? Like a pose or a theme I want to go with. There's so much pretty art for that series, it's kind of daunting to draw for it. It's a bit overwhelming, really. In the 2000s, everything was Sakura and Pokemon Polygon. Pokeporn. What? Poke. But yeah, Cardcaptor Sakura is so pretty. And cute. And gentle. I love it. And the opening and the ending, I love them. I sing them a lot. Or sing along to them a lot. I saw that there was a newer series of it. Did anyone watch that? The newer one? I'm not sure how I feel about the art style. I'll probably skip it. Was it alright? It's not concluded and lacks another season? Oh, well. Well, okay. I also need to watch the new Inuyasha thing. I like their kiddos. Their designs are really good, actually. New Inuyasha. So if I think about it, I actually don't think I watched all of the original Inuyasha. Like, I know what happens at the end, but I don't think I actually watched the last few episodes. I need to. Yeah, I never finished it either. I love Inuyasha so much though. When I was really small, I wanted to be Shippo's sister. I wanted to be like either the same age as him or a little younger than him, and he would be my brother and we would play together. Like, it was completely innocent. I just really liked him. I wanted to be friends with him and hang out with him, and he could teach me stuff, like his powers and stuff. I think people were upset because Sesshomaru and Rin are together. But, I mean, obviously they were gonna be together. I don't know what people expected. Who else would he be with? Like, literally, who else? There's no other human person he would be with. And, I mean, if you think about it, how old is Inuyasha compared to Kagome? Like, they're the same size, so nobody complains, but he's a lot older than her. So, it's just kind of like... you need to decide. Be consistent. Consistent. And Moroku exists. There's scenes where he asks, like, they're like the same age pretty much, or a little older than Rin, to have his kids. So you should already not be watching Inuyasha, because he's a loved main character. But it's just kind of like, I don't want to get into drama stuff. I try to not talk about it because everybody talks about it, you know? It's just, you know, annoying. Annoying. But it's almost time for me to hit the hay, y'all. I gotta start packing. I haven't started packing. I leave in like 2 days. I need to pack. Pack. I need to pack my clothes. I have to decide which pleated skirts I want to wear. Do I want to bring the white one and the pink one and the blue one? Very serious question. I gotta choose which thigh-high socks to bring. The salmon survival kit. It's a vacation. It's not a survival. I don't need survival cans. What do you mean? You guys are a mess. I have to bring my lucky pants. I have to bring my lucky one so the vacation goes well. I'm serious. I have to bring them, my lucky orange one. I wear them when I need tons of luck, so I have to. Can't wear them all week though, so I'll wear it at the beginning. Get a good start. I planned this very seriously. Yes, my lucky orange pantsu. I have 2 pairs of the lucky one. All my other ones are normal. Blinky shoes. Yes, I will be taking my light up shoes. Probably just take 2 pairs of shoes. Maybe just 1 actually. I could take 2. Lots of serious packing. I actually pack pretty light compared to most people. I pack pretty light and I get dressed really quickly compared to most people. Like my outfits seem over the top, but they're really not. It's just the prints make everything seem over the top. I just, I just throw clothes on and I'm like, okay. I probably get dressed faster than all of you. I plan it out in 0.01 second and then I put it on. I'm serious. I'm serious. Sometimes I do, honestly. I'll just grab the first thing. Because if it's like a dress, I don't have to think about anything else. I just grab the dress. And most of my stuff is pink. So, okay, I grab a pink dress and I just grab a random pair of pink shoes and I'm ready to go. It's fine. And then I don't match socks. So socks don't matter. Makeup. I don't wear makeup. I've never worn makeup once in my entire life. I don't understand it, and I will never understand it. It's not for me. It is not for me. I think I painted my nails once, and then I couldn't draw, so I took it off. I don't know what it did, but I painted my nails one time, and my hands felt weird, and I couldn't draw right, so I was like, it's gotta go. I don't like stuff on me. No. I like to wear cute clothes and stuff, but I'm actually like, I don't like to, I will not wear or do anything that's uncomfortable. So a lot of my stuff that I wear is pretty comfy, or like oversized, stuff like that. Short nails or long nails? I, it depends on when I cut them. Honestly, lately, I just let them grow really long and then I cut them off when I feel like it. I cut them off when I start scratching myself a lot. They get sharp. That's my honest. I'm a feral creature, okay? Yeah. I cut them when I start scratching myself. It's too much effort, okay? If socks are not matching, bad things might happen? Is that a thing? Oh, and yeah, Nyanko Manko, I usually just wear pajamas too. I only put on clothes if I go somewhere. Otherwise, it is pajamas, which are usually a big t-shirt and short. No, I mean scratching myself over stupid stuff. like if I open I've scratched myself a lot opening a fruit snack pouch. And when you pinch the top and you open it, I'll scratch myself by accident. And then I'll be like, okay. Yeah, I wear pajamas. I have some pajama sets, and then I have some nightgowns, and then I also just have gigantic shirts. Like, big tie-dye shirts. I'll just wear those. Yeah, I scratch myself when I'm trying to open it. Exactly. Clip material. I'm just talking. I'm not doing anything. Sleepy. I'm gonna hit the hay soon. Ah. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. Kept waking up. Not good. If it was lewd, I wouldn't have a halo over my head. So true. So true. A lewd angel. It's possible. It's possible. I was reading. The envoy of Bluewood. Bluewood. My dream last night was really weird too. In my dream last night, I was small enough to sit on the top of my computer, like the actual box. I was sitting on the top, and I was sitting over the vent part, and I was like, I'm gonna pee into the computer to power it up. And one of my friends was there, and he was like, no, you're not. You're gonna break it. And I was like, no. I'm gonna power it up. And then I woke up, and it was like 4:13 in the morning. And I think I stayed awake for like 20 minutes, and then I fell back asleep, and I went right back in the dream, and I was peeing in the spot in the computer. But the pee was like green. It was like a sparkly green color, and it was filling up the computer, and then there was weird stuff happening on the screen. It was, I don't even know how to explain what was happening on the screen. Just imagine some weird trippy stuff. It was really funny. I kept waking up and falling back asleep, but the dream would just continue, which doesn't usually happen. I was worried that I was gonna wake up and my bed would be messed up. But luckily that didn't happen. No, I was sitting on the computer in the dream. Okay, I might, but that has nothing to do with the stream. The fetish has nothing to do with this. Okay, these are separate things. These are very separate. If I was standing, it would have probably shot into the air like that one time when I tried to do it. Yeah, it was inside of the computer in the dream. It filled up the box on the inside. And it was green and sparkly, and it made a bunch of weird trippy stuff happen on the monitor screen. And I don't remember what happened after that. No, it doesn't! It does not. I've seen people say, like, if you hold in your pee for a long time, and you go to the bathroom, and you pee, it feels like that, but I think that you're feeling relief because you were holding it in. Which is not the same. It's not the same. Maybe it's the same for guys, but it's not the same for girls, I don't think. Why was I attempting to pee in a computer? You wouldn't get it, okay? Maybe if you studied computers, if you went to school and studied computers, you would get it. It's too advanced for me to explain here. You have to have a PhD to understand. I'm sorry. Computers. That's funny. Computers. Computers. I need a new computer. My computer's so freaking loud. I'm glad that the microphone doesn't pick it up, but it's so freaking. Sometimes I slap it and then it stops. I just give it a whap. A whap. Which I probably shouldn't do, but it stops the noise. Stops the noise. Hmm. Just disconnect the fans, it'll be quieter and warmer. My room is too hot. If I disconnected the fans, my computer would catch on fire probably. My room is so hot. I'm pretty sure my room is like the hottest room in this house. On a summer day, it will be the hottest room. And I'm so used to it that I'm cold everywhere else in the house. Like, the temperature drop is so strong. The room with Kipa is the hottest room. I knew one of you would say that, but I had to say it anyway. I knew it. If I disconnect the fans, the PC shuts down with a blue screen, and then it catches on fire, okay? There's a process. Trust. Trust. One time I had a laptop, and the plug that goes in to charge it, used to get really, really hot. And I kind of ignored it for a while because it still worked, but it started getting like hotter and hotter and hotter. And one day it was like burning hot where I could only touch it for a few seconds. And then I was like, okay, I'm kind of scared. So I grabbed it and I threw it on the ground. And when I threw it on the ground, a whole like cloud of sparks shot up from the charger. It scared the crap out of me. It was like a gigantic shock. Sparks, clouds flying out. So I didn't use it ever again. But I was thinking about how that was my hand. Like, that could have been my hand if I had held it just a little longer. But I'm pretty sure it's because I threw it on the ground. So it was the impact that made the sparks shoot out. It was funny. I'm a gremlin. Not a gremlin. The impact probably broke something. Well, I think it was already broken considering how heated up it was, but definitely it was like the final straw. Fill a tub with cooking oil. The PC in there. Are you trying to kill me? Are you trying to harm me? Are you trying to endanger me? I'm trying to think. I had one other time with a technology misfire. I put in a new light bulb. I'm pretty sure I said this before one time, but it was a long time ago. I plugged in a new light bulb for my light in my room. There's two, so I put in two. And I was in my room for a while, doing my homework, and then I went to go use the bathroom. And I heard a big, like, poof, while I was in the bathroom. And then I came back, and one of the light bulbs exploded. Luckily, it exploded while I was in the bathroom. So it didn't explode on me, because the light's right above my bed. But of course, there was glass everywhere because it exploded. So I only have one light bulb now. Because the other one's still kind of in there. I haven't taken it out since that happened. That was like years ago. So I only have one light in my room. Because I can't pull the other one out. I tried to, and I just, I cut up my hand. Because I grabbed it with my bare hand. Maybe I could get it with like an oven mitt, but I just haven't done it. But I tried to pull it out with my hand, it didn't work. But I had glass in my carpet for a long time. I tried to get up all the pieces. And you know, my carpet is kind of hard to see the pieces, so I would find them. I would find the pieces of glass in my carpet by stepping on them and seeing the blood on my foot. And then I'd be like, oh, there's a piece. And then I would throw it away. It was very efficient. It took a few months, maybe 2 or 3 months to get it all. I'm pretty sure I got it all. Well, it's because, you know, the glass is like thin, so it's not like it really hurt. You just see the blood, so it's fine. It's fine. 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 I'm a demon. I can handle it. It's fine. Your room is messy, but I leave broken glass on the floor. We are not the same. I need to clean my room too before I go. It's not that messy. I really just have clothes on the floor and stuffed animals. Yep. And hairballs. I have a bunch of hairballs. Because I'll like play with my hair and I'll tug on it and then I'll pull some out and then I'll roll it to a ball and I'll leave it. There's something wrong with me. I leave hairballs like a cat all around. Yep. Basically, almost the same as a cat. Yeah. I'm gonna hit the hay tonight. For now, y'all. Summer plus cat hair. Oh, I'll say one more thing before I go. Because that reminds me, for our dog used to shed so much. But we bought this, I forgot the name of it, but it's like a oil that you put in your pet's food. And, well, it's like a bunch of different oils, like fish oil and olive oil and stuff like that. You put it in their food, and it makes them shed less. So maybe there's a version for cats. I mean, they'll still shed a little bit, but it's like so much less. But yeah. Probably one for cats. Wanna bite my neck? No, I'll cry. Maybe I'll cry. I'll definitely. Yeah, that's the last thing I'll say for tonight. I'm gonna head to bed, okay? Going to bed. And I'll see you all in I'll see you all next month. Which sounds like a long time, but it's not that long. It's just a week and a few days. Yep. Yep. See you all next month, and hopefully I'll have my summer look soon. Probably not when I start streaming again right away, but hopefully, you know, definitely before the end of July. I want my swimsuit outfit done. I gotta work hard on it. But yeah, bye everybody, and I'll have fun, and I hope you have fun while I'm away, and all that. Yep. Good night. And I'll have a safe trip. I'll be with my whole family, so I'll be fine. I would definitely not be a safe trip if I was by myself, because I'm too, like, airheaded for that. I won't forget you, I'll be back. Yes. Bye. Bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. One more bye. Bye.